I'm Scott Donaton. I'm the Global Chief Creative and Content Officer, that's a mouthful, at Digitas, and we are proudly one of the founders of the NewFronts. Our panel discussion was essentially around the idea that brands may not have a guaranteed spot at the table in the marketing world and the media landscape going forward, that audiences more than ever are empowered by technology to avoid, skip, block advertising, and increasingly they're also paying a premium. So they'll pay money to Spotify specifically not to get advertising. They'll pay for Netflix not to get advertising. And so the idea is, what do brands need to do to guarantee that they will have a place in consumers' lives? With the answer being, it's about storytelling, content marketing. It's about figuring out how you can tell stories that are worthy of people's time and that they'll choose to spend time with, because the interruptive, intrusive model that drove advertising for the last 100 years is on its way out. It's always about going audience first instead of brand first if you want to find great storytelling. You can't just be, what story do I want to tell? It's got to be, what is my audience interested in? Where do I legitimately, incredibly have something to say? And where do I find that value exchange between what my audience cares about and what I know and have expertise in? There's no such thing as influencers. There are creators who happen to be artists and singers and dancers and songwriters who happen to express themselves in a different medium. Because I think a lot of brands get really nervous around what is an influencer? Can I look at them in the eye? Are they human? Do they have two legs? It's this really weird sense of like, I don't understand those people, versus I'm just working with creators who happen to create and distribute their content in a different way. And I think, when you look at them as creators, then as a brand, you figure out, how can I help them, reach more audience, create more of what they love, as well as how can they help me. And so we really encourage brands to take this approach that it is a value exchange. It's not about a rent-a-tweet mentality where you're paying somebody to basically put something out and then you get upset when they work for your competitor 3 months later because you didn't actually develop a relationship with them. It's about developing relationships with creators, helping them create better things to put out in the world that will have value to your audience and advance the interests of the brand. Obviously, LA is the epicenter of the storytelling world. Some of the greatest creators and storytellers in the world are here. It's also increasingly a hub for innovation. And VR and AR and all these new forms of storytelling that are emerging, a lot of that's happening here as well. So I think it's really important that brands who maybe tend more towards the East Coast or the Midwest figure out what's going on out here more, build deeper relationships, and do more things and create more magic with these storytellers.